So I'm with Lucy from She Grows Veg. Hi Lucy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us a bit about the build. Was it stressful?
It wasn't without stress. It's always a little bit stressful. It's very exhausting. It's very physically demanding. We do very long days, but it has been incredible. It's always an amazing experience every time.
So you've had a long journey through sort of social media into this position, haven't you? Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, so the company originally started as just my personal Instagram account, and I was sharing this rabbit hole that I was falling down growing heirloom vegetables. And the account started to grow, and I was getting a lot of messages asking where people could get hold of the seed that I was growing. And I was working with a US seed company at the time, trialling and photographing for them. So my answer had to be, well, you can't, in this country, you can't get hold of this seed. So I'd already had this sense that there was an opportunity, and I really wanted to start a seed company in some form, but didn't know how to do it on my own. And then fast forward a few years, I reconnect with Kate, who's my business partner, and we had studied garden design together at Beth Chatto Gardens near Colchester.
Okay.
And I talked her through it, and I said, I really feel there's an opportunity. I think, I want to do something that's a bit different, but I can't do it on my own. So she went off and did some market research, having been in marketing and advertising for 25 years. And she came back and went, you're right, there's this huge opportunity. If you have me, I'll quit my job and I'll go in with you. We'll launch this together.
Brilliant. So the business is based all around sort of historical vegetables, I believe, yeah?
Yes, so we go with heirloom because we want it to appeal to chefs as much as we want it to appeal to gardeners. And heirloom is really the term that chefs use, so that's the one we went. But it's exactly the same as what some people would call heritage. So these are generally varieties that have been around for 50 years or more. There are some more modern developments, but absolutely everything that we sell is open pollinated.
So what advantages are people getting from growing vegetables from years ago? I mean, what's the difference between those sort of legacy plants and the plants now?
So these, because they're all open pollinated seeds, they're all genetically stable, which means they reproduce the way nature intended, and therefore they become part of the natural environment. If you're growing a hybrid or an F1 seed, it is not genetically stable and it can't reproduce in the same way, so you won't get the same plant if you tried to save the seed from it. It would revert to a different genetic ancestor, and there's no way to know which genetic ancestor it would revert to.
Yeah.
So this is natural seed. This is as it would be in nature, and therefore it genuinely contributes to biodiversity, whereas a hybrid seed is not going to do that.
Okay, so we're sort of we're trying to push the sustainability side, the ecological side of business, basically in gardening, because there's a lot of things that can be done better, shall we say, in gardening. It's way too much plastics, that sort of stuff. So can you tell me a bit about how you are sort of trying to do your bit for sustainability as well?
So we really do try and be as sustainable as possible as a business. So all of our packaging, we're an online business essentially, and we mail out all of our seeds, and all of our packaging is compostable, so not just recyclable.
Right.
It's made from recyclable cardboard, but it is compostable, so you're adding to your compost heap as well. And we use natural dyes in any printing that we do. So we try really hard to be sustainable across the business. We also think that just the action of growing vegetables is a step in the right direction sustainably. Anything that you can grow yourself is something that you haven't bought from the supermarket.
Definitely.
And things from the supermarket have a really big carbon footprint, they've got food miles attached to them, and inevitably most of them come wrapped in plastic as well.
Yeah.
So anything that you can grow yourself is a step in the right direction.
So on the balcony, courtyard, wherever.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter what space you have. There's always a way to grow food. I mean, even if you have no outside space whatsoever, you could be growing microgreens on your windowsill. So there's always a way to just contribute a little bit to what you grow. Plus, anything that you grow for yourself is better for you. It's more nutrient rich.
Yeah.
So from the moment that a vegetable is harvested, the vitamins and minerals and nutrients in that start to tail off. So you will never find anything in a supermarket that is as good for you as something you picked straight out of your garden.
Okay. So tell me about some of your sort of favourite vegetables then. What the ones you've brought back that are your favourites?
So we're famous for the mangel wurzel.
Yeah.
Can't not mention the mangel wurzel. So mangel wurzels are not new to this country. Farmers have grown them for a really long time, and they've grown them as a fodder crop. But before they were a fodder crop, they were a staple in gardens across the land. But we've completely forgotten that.
So why has it been forgotten?
Well, I think it's just gone out of fashion.
Is it not a commercial thing, or?
They are super easy to grow. They are completely adapted to our environment. So across the whole of the UK, it will work for any gardener. So it is the ideal crop, but it's just gone out of fashion. So what we've done is bring it back into fashion. So we've made these go viral on social media, and all that was just explaining why they're great. So we used to grow them everywhere. They were called the scarcity route because they gave you ample food when there wasn't a lot else about. So what's not to love about that? Why wouldn't everyone want to grow them? Plus, they're absolutely massive and they look really weird. So they're ticking every box.
I saw a picture of one. They're huge, aren't they?
They are. So, and people love them. They've gone crazy for them.
I mean, is that the ones you've been showing? Is that the average size, or is that just a really big one?
So that's a full-size one.
Right.
So if you want to eat it as a root veg, something like a, like a big root veg, like a swede, and you can do anything that you would do with a big root veg with a mangel wurzel, then you're aiming for around head size. Okay. Whereas if you let them get full size, that's when people use them for fermentation, and you can actually make mangel wurzel wine. Yeah, so it's great.
So
for
what
that.
does it taste like?
It tastes like a beetroot, but it's less earthy and it's sweeter because it sits between beetroot and sugar beet. Okay. So it's actually a really, really delicious flavour. And the other crop...
And you eat it?
I eat it. It's great. So I have mangel wurzel tartatan. It's lovely. I can highly recommend it. But the other crop that we're absolutely crazy about, which just isn't known about in this country, but it is an absolute game changer for UK growers, is the storage tomato. So these
what, sorry?
Storage tomato.
Storage tomato,
yes.
Right.
So these are really, really commonly grown in Italy and Spain, but they're not well known here. But it is a game changer for our short tomato season. So this is a tomato that differs slightly from conventional tomatoes in that their gene for self-ripening is weaker. Right. So at the end of the season, you have full-size tomatoes, but they're still green. Yeah. And then you cut all the trusses off the plant and you hang them in these great big bunches, and then they very slowly ripen through winter. And what that means is that you can be eating your homegrown tomatoes on through winter. And different varieties ripen at different speeds. So you can have 2-month ones, 3-month ones, 6-month ones. I'm actually trialing ones that last for a whole year at the moment. So it's a game changer. You could be eating your own homegrown tomatoes all the way through the year.
Fantastic. Great information. Thanks for your time.
Lovely to meet
Cheers.
you. Thanks so much.